Well, hello everyone and welcome to another episode here on the MIgardener channel. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and that's because today is Monday, so we do feature a gardener question of the week. However, on this episode, we're actually going to be making the entire episode about this one question. So let's get started with that. So the gardener question of the week comes from Judy Cole, and Judy asks, question on the topic of compost. I am a first-year gardener on rented property, so unfortunately my small vegetable garden is in small containers, and being in a small town having a large compost bin is not possible. I really don't want to continue buying bags upon bags of potting soil and would like to use more compost next year. I have researched composting in black trash bags. Do you know anything about this procedure or any other method that might work for my situation? And then she goes on to say thank you for the information that I give. And so I thank you, Judy, for the question of the week. So we're going to talk about that. And Judy points out a very good trick to getting great compost, and that's using what we like to call solar composting bags. And the reason why we call them solar composting bags is because they're black, and they're black trash bags, and we just give them a fancy name and makes them sound cool. No, but seriously, the solar rays from the sun warm up the black, because black absorbs sunlight and absorbs heat really, and the heat will help heat up the compost or the composting material, and then that will help the bacteria to compost faster, because the compost should be heating up to around between 100 and 130 degrees in order to create a very good rich compost that kills all the weed seeds and all that kind of stuff. So and it also just helps it to compost faster as well. So one thing that we like to do, and yes, you can use the trash bags, but the one thing that I'm going to say in this episode is why I don't use the trash bags. I actually use a better method, in my opinion, to using the trash bags, and that is using a 32-gallon trash bucket. And the reason being, I have quite a few reasons. First one is, when you're in the city, you don't want to be piling up trash bags. I think you see where I'm going with this. I mean, people, they see trash bags and they think trash. They don't think compost. They don't think like a gardener, because not everyone's mind is in a gardener's world. And so in a city, it might not be the best idea to be stacking up trash bags. So I like this method because people think trash can, they're outside all the time. They're used to seeing it. They may be empty even. Who knows? You know, if they're judging you, if you have those judgmental neighbors that are always nosing into your business, it's a lot less of an eyesore to have them in a trash bin. That's my number one reason. Well, that's one of the reasons, not my number one. My number one is the ability to flip them. Because when it comes to turning your compost, Judy, you're going to want to do it, especially in a city setting. If you don't turn your compost, you're going to have stanky compost. And when I say stanky, I mean it stinks. Whew, it smells, because it goes anaerobic. And what happens is you have your compost in either a trash bag or a pile even, or in a trash bucket. And if you don't turn it, there's no more oxygen to help feed those bacteria that are breaking down your compost. So you have what's called anaerobic bacteria. That happens after all the oxygen is used up in the compost. The aerobic or oxygen loving bacteria die. Then what happens is the anaerobic or oxygen void bacteria, they come in and they say, ooh, what a nice home. We love this kind of stuff. So they come in here and they will stink up. Oh man, it stinks. It smells just horrible. And it will compost, but man, it smells. And you don't want that, especially with neighbors, if you're not trying to draw any attention to a compost pile. So that's very crucial. So when it comes to flipping your compost, having it in a bucket like this is so important, because if you have it in a trash bag, if you tie it, you have to either rip it open or untie it. And also when it comes to trash bags, it uses like 5 times more trash bags. This I can reuse. The trash bags you have to throw out, and I like to throw a lot less stuff in the landfill as much as possible. So I like to keep stuff out of there if at all possible, and I find this is a great way to do that because it's nice sturdy plastic. I did get this for only $6 at Walmart, so it is super cheap, came with a lid, really can't beat it. So I might get a couple more, in fact. So I'm going to run you through how to set this up here so that Judy, if you're watching, you can set up yours, and anyone else that's interested in starting your own. So what you see is actually after 2.5 months. This compost right here is what I've been using in the garden as just leaf mold. And this stuff is almost finished. But here's the thing. You don't have to empty this out. I've just rotated this today, and that's why I thought I might as well bring you all along for it. I just rotated this today. I added the water because you need water in here. I add a layer of the brown, a layer of the green, and then I add water. And then this right here, this probably 75% finished, 3/4 finished compost will act as almost a starter. And that starter is going to have a lot of the beneficial bacterias and aerobic bacteria already in here growing and multiplying in number. So it's going to kind of speed up the process for anything else that I'm throwing in here. So that's why I'm going to keep this in here. I'm not going to empty it out. I'm just going to continue to fill this baby up to the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a nice helping of leaves, and I'm just going to put that on top like that. And then all I do is I take either green material, or I'll take, or what I'll do is if I don't have any green material on hand like grass clippings or leaves, what I'll do is I'll take blood meal and I'll sprinkle blood meal in here because the bacteria need a nitrogen source. A nitrogen source is very, very important when you're getting compost because they actually use the nitrogen to break down the brown material. And so the nitrogen is not, it's not really there to make the compost. It's more or less there to feed the bacteria to make the compost. That's what the brown is for the compost. So the green is there strictly to keep the bacteria alive. And so if you don't have enough of it, you're going to notice that your compost is going to move really slow. So what I like to do is just add some blood meal. I don't have any blood meal with me, but another thing that you can do is you can actually add urine. And if you take a funnel and urinate into a milk jug, I don't use that method, by the way. It's not a method of my choice, but it is a very effective method, and that's going to give you nitrogen right in there, and it's a direct source of nitrogen. So if you don't have any green grass clippings, like I don't right now, I'm just composting leaves for leaf mold because that's what I use primarily, the most of, is leaf mold. I don't have any green in here because it's strictly all leaves. So I actually use blood meal in mine, and that's just my nitrogen source of choice. You use what you'd like. You can even use coffee grounds. Coffee grounds is an amazing source of nitrogen and will help you to expedite the composting process. Put the lid on there. There we go. So there you go, Judy. Hopefully you enjoyed this really quick tip on getting your stuff to compost when it's in an urban environment. I know a lot of people don't have the ability to have a compost pile like mine, and I love my compost pile. Trust me, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I love my compost and just how much I can make because I use quite a bit of it. But you know, in an urban setting, it is very true. You know, you have to be smart with what you have. And you can't always have a big compost pile. Number one, it might take up too much space. Number two, your neighbors might not like it. And you have to be kind of courteous when you're in a urban setting like that. So, you know, just those things can really limit a gardener. But if you know how to be smart with what you have, and you know how to turn your neighbor's waste into your treasure, you can turn their grass clippings and their leaf mulch, all that kind of stuff, into great compost simply by using a trash can. And so there you go. I don't think I have anything else to add about that. Yeah, just make sure you flip it about every week or so. You want to flip it once a week until it starts to cool off. That's going to be in about 3 months, 4 months. So don't worry, it's not going to happen anytime soon, but you want to keep flipping it. And whenever you flip it, you want to mix it around, throw it back in, spray it down with water, and that will ensure that it can keep cooking for you and it doesn't go anaerobic and it doesn't stop cooking and making you compost. And that's it. It's not that hard. But yeah, but the reason why I wanted to come out here was just to talk about this, because this is a great method. And I love it because it's actually composting faster than the compost pile, which oddly enough makes me want to almost make a couple more of these. So that's definitely a success in my eyes, and hopefully if you're watching, Judy, you'll try this, and anyone else that wants to get some compost in an urban environment, or heck, just out anywhere and wants to give this method a try, I definitely suggest it. All right, so it's come to that time of the episode, and you know what time it is. It is the YouTube Gardener of the Week, and I'm so excited for this one simply because this, oh man, I can't wait to unveil this one, because I absolutely am so honored to announce this Gardener of the Week, and that is Brock Hughes. And let me tell you, Brock, if you're watching, buddy, you have a spectacular channel. And man, there's something about his channel where it doesn't matter if you're a new gardener or an old gardener, if you're a kid or an adult, it just is so fun to watch. He makes it so fun, so interesting. And the best thing is that he's doing such amazing things with hydroponics, stuff that I could never ever do if I tried. So it's cool for me to watch just different ways that food is being produced in the best way possible. And let me tell you, he is getting results like you would not believe. And he's just, he's so funny to watch. He's just a down-to-earth guy. He's witty, and he's just so funny. And I'm honored to say that I've been a subscriber since the very beginning. And man, he has gotten so much better. I've watched his channel grow over the past however long it was that he's had his channel. It's been quite a while now, but I've been a subscriber, and I'm not ashamed to say I've watched every single one of his videos. And Brock, if you're watching, this is totally deserved. I'm so happy to announce this one. So anyone that's watching, definitely give his channel a check out. Subscribe if you like. Obviously, don't subscribe if you don't like it, but that would just be pointless. But I'm pretty sure you will like it, because you know, man, I know what I like, and I would have a hard time not liking it. And so, yeah, just go check out his channel. And Brock, great job, man. Keep it up. And I'm looking forward to seeing more from your greenhouse there. It is so impressive. He does everything in the greenhouse, by the way. It's all hydroponic greenhouse amazingness. So I'm not going to spoil any more, but you got to go check out what he does so you can be surprised for yourself. And until next episode, this is MIgardener reminding you to grow big or go home. I'll talk to you all later. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys. Bye.